That night, Howie, Delilah, and Snivel were hanging out in the student lounge, eating popcorn balls and watching I Dream of Jeannie on Nick at Night, when Bacon Malcontent and his two stooges, Grab and Run, stepped in front of them and blocked their view. "Excuse me," Snivel said politely, "you're blocking our view?" "Yes," said Delilah, "we're coming to one of the best bits, and we'd be ever so grateful if you stepped aside." Bacon Malcontent was a terrier whose superior breeding had left him with a permanent sneer. Grab and Run were mutts, but they'd forgotten that fact ever since Bako, as everyone called Bacon Malcontent around here, had let them run with him. "So," said Bako with a sneer, which he couldn't help since it was permanent and all, "you're the famous Howie Monroe. Bursitis boy." Howie felt the pain in his back left leg flare up. He didn't like being called Bursitis boy. "Yeah, so?" he replied cleverly to Bako's taunt. "Just watch out," Bako said. "For the Doghouse of Doom?" Howie asked. "The Doghouse of Doom?" laughed Bako. "That's a good one, isn't it, boys?" Grab and Run laughed too, though their eyes remained as empty as a finely tuned concert piano. Uncle Harold just glanced at what I was writing and said that I used that concert piano simile in another book. See Book 1, It Came From Beneath the Bed by Howie Monroe. And besides, it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why things have to make sense. Grab and Run laughed too, though their eyes remained as empty as a cat's bowl after the dog has gotten there first. "Ha!" Bako snorted. "Everybody has to watch out for the Doghouse of Doom. You, Bursitis boy, have to watch out for us." Bako, Grab, and Run walked away, bumping into another one as they went. Howie turned to Delilah and Snivel. "I'm worried," Snivel said. "Bako means trouble." Delilah immediately pulled out the notebook she carried everywhere and wrote in her glossary of magic terms. "Bako equals trouble." Delilah wasn't as smart as she made you think she was. It was in Inanimate Objects class the next morning, while reading aloud a passage from Flying Hydrants by Altitudinous Airedale, that Howie found out just how much danger he was in. A spitball hit him in the back of the head. "Professor Sneak!" he called out. "A spitball hit me in the back of the head." Sneak sneered. Howie marveled at the alliteration. "That is not a spitball," the professor told Howie, his words dripping contempt even as his lips dripped drool. "One would think our most gifted student would be able to recognize an aerated elasticus when he is hit by one in the back of the head." Bako, Grab, and Run snickered. Sneak snickered too. Howie had a sudden craving for a candy bar. "That was nothing more than a rubber band," Delilah said after class, once again proving that she did know a thing or two. "Someone snapped a rubber band at you, Howie, and I think I know who it was." "Bako?" "No." "Grab?" "No." "Run?" "No." "Who then?" "It wasn't me," Snivel sniveled. "I'm your friend, Howie." "Of course it wasn't you, Snivel," said Delilah. She reminded herself to be patient with Snivel, who meant well, but really wasn't as smart as she was and also suffered from being a boy. "It was someone from another dimension. Someone who is determined to get you, Howie. Someone who has been after you ever since he flattened your family." Howie gasped. "Surely you don't mean—" "Yes," Delilah said. "I mean the evil force whose name cannot be spoke, whose real name, by the way, is Herbert. I read it in a book." There was a peal of thunder. The lights dimmed and went out. It was as dark as the inside of a finely tuned concert piano. Howie wondered if the Dogwiz Academy for Canine Conjurers had forgotten to pay its electric bill. When the lights came back on, Howie was all alone. A message was scrawled on the wall next to him in red paint. Or was it paint? Maybe it was ketchup. Howie read the words that were meant for his eyes alone. "Don't call me Herbert. My name is the evil force whose name cannot be spoke." Touchy, touchy, thought Howie. But where had Delilah and Snivel gone? Howie took a step forward and slipped on a banana peel. Someone, or something, chuckled. The message on the wall vanished. Howie thought it might be a good time to check the schedule for the next Whiz on Wheels out of there. "I want to go home," he whimpered, pathetically enough to make the reader reach for a tissue. "Oh, but you can't go home, sir. No, sir, that you mustn't, sir." It was Hoppy, the talking, and increasingly annoying, frog. "Why can't I go home?" Howie asked. "Because you have a mission, sir," said Hoppy, "and Hoppy is here to help you achieve it. If you do, then Hoppy will be turned into his former self." "A prince?" Howie asked. No, a tadpole, said Hoppy. Hoppy was happy as a tadpole. There was so little pressure. There's pressure on being a frog. You have no idea. It was true. Howie had no idea. But what is my mission? Howie asked. Hoppy hopped around in every direction to make sure they weren't being watched. When he was sure, he motioned for Howie to bend down. This wasn't hard, since Howie was a wire-haired dachshund and almost pretty much eye to eye with the talking frog. You must do something Hoppy told you never to do, Hoppy told Howie. Talk with my mouth full? Howie asked, surprised. No, that was your aunt. Hoppy told you must never enter the Doghouse of Doom. Well, now you must, sir. You must enter the Doghouse of Doom and defeat the evil force whose name cannot be spoke. Is that all? The brave and daring, not to mention heroic, Howie asked. Actually, no, said Hoppy. First, you must go to the sweltering swamp and find the lost key to the Tailwagger Triangle, where you are to go and release the seven-headed schnauzer, after which you must find homes for the wandering ghosts of the corridors of captivity, then take a nap, following which you will crawl through the tunnel of terrible things, swim the lake of laughable luck, climb the mountain of monstrous mischief, pass all your exams, win the world championship in fetch for dog whiz, and make a quarter materialize from behind Professor Sneak's right ear. I can do that, Howie, the heroic and brave, not to mention daring, Dachshund replied. The nap part, anyway. It wasn't long before Howie had gone to the sweltering swamp and found the key to the Tailwagger Triangle, released the seven-headed schnauzer, found homes for the wandering ghosts of the corridors of captivity, taken a nap, crawled through the tunnel of terrible things, swum the lake of laughable luck, climbed the mountain of monstrous mischief, taken a second nap, passed all his exams, won the world championship in fetch for dog whiz, and made a quarter materialize from behind Professor Sneak's right ear. Piece of cake, said Howie, who wasn't even winded. You couldn't have done it without that second nap, Bako said, smirking. Bako's smirking was even less likable than Bako's sneering. Anyway, Brasidas boy, now you have to enter the Doghouse of Doom. It's been nice knowing ya. Not! Bako threw back his head and laughed. Grab and Run threw back their heads too, but they forgot to catch them. In the distance, the whistling willow whistled the itsy-bitsy spider. Howie felt the power of music, felt himself being pulled to the doghouse, pulled to his fate, pulled to his doom.